So what we have here is a new action from Jonathan Giuseppe to do quote unquote DML on custom metadata records. So in this case, it's really just create and update, but it's pretty powerful when used correctly. So I have a pretend scenario here where we're storing discount percentages based off of account types in custom metadata. So if you're keen and savvy on custom metadata types, you know that they're used to take out logic out of code, validation rules, and flows. So in this case, we want to be able to control discount rates outside of the flow. So we've set up these mappings. So let's say you have a finance manager that you want to be able to manage these instead of you the busy admin. So what we can do is we can build a flow to do that. So I built a simple flow here. Let me just spin up the newest version. So I just present a simple little toggle here, one to create, one to delete. So if we want to update, we can select the existing mappings using data table, or we can create them. In this case, I'll just have a little create box. So then it brings up, a bunch of fields that we'll need for the mappings. Now you would probably want to make it a little nicer for the user, like automatically creating the API name. Changes deployed. So then we'll go back to the beginning of the flow and we'll see that new mapping that we just made. Neat stuff. So in flow, you know that you can grab custom metadata, but you can't actually do any sort of actions with them within flow. That's where this would come in. So just to show you how it works, we do the get records on the custom metadata type. We show it in the data table because data table can just as easily show custom metadata records. We show some inputs. So here's where the magic starts. So the first thing we need to do, and this is all in the GitHub README, the first thing you'll need to do is specify the API name of the object, the name or the label, the developer name, of the custom metadata record, and then the label. And then that basically creates an instance of it in memory. So what you have to do after that is you have to specify the other values of the custom metadata record using an assignment rule. So you'll see here I reference the output of the action from the previous step, and then I can pick whatever field I want, and then I set the values on the right. So that creates the instance of that custom metadata record in memory. So then we have to add it to a collection of custom metadata records, just like you would in a loop. And then we run this deploy action, which comes in the package. We specify that finance mapping and then the collection, and then we deploy it. Easy peasy. Now, the one thing I will mention is that these are technically considered deployments and not record operations. So it's rather difficult to tell if they failed or succeeded, just to keep that in mind. So one thing you'll want to know is, did it work? Then in that case, you kind of have to go to the deployment status right now. Maybe in a future improvement, we could maybe create some sort of action to grab using the deployment ID. I'd imagine that's on Jonathan's list of things to do, but you can kind of see here, this is the one we just did. Deployment successful. And then you can see here if you have failures, like in this case, I think I hadn't updated the pick list value for the custom metadata type. So just keep that in mind. These are deployed asynchronously.